I normally have a devotion on Fridays that brings together the readings from the past week and prepares everyone for worship. But today, I want to add to the message that I gave on Wednesday night at the midweek Lenten service. I will also be preaching this same message this coming Sunday at the 10 a.m. Mask Required service. If you missed it or you just want to hear it again, you can catch it on the YouTube channel or on the website. Each week, Wednesday nights, we've been working through a book by John DeVries entitled Why Pray? If you are reading along with the 40-day devotional, you know that this week the question centers around why pray first. Rather than just jumping in and doing something for God, the first work is one of prayer. Praying first does two important things. First, it attunes our hearts for the eventual work that God has in mind. Second, it connects us to the divine power source that is the same power that God used to raise Jesus from the dead. The same wisdom that created and runs the world. So, if we are attuned and in line with what God is doing, and by His grace receiving His resources for the work, the results, whatever they will be, are what He wants done. We do need to take care, though, with our expectations of all of this, because the final product may not look like the plans and the projects that we had in mind. It may require that we abandon how we've been doing things in the past and start something completely different. It may not even be something that looks like success. After all, the cross of Jesus was not the victory that Jesus' disciples had in mind. But nevertheless, Jesus was attuned to His Father's will, and in His power and grace suffered and died, and thereby provided life for the world, forgiveness of sins, and resurrection from the dead. Prayer is the first work necessary, and it avails us to what God is doing in the world. So I would like to invite you into a more intentional time of prayer, because we are entering another transition moment in the life of the congregation and in our world. The COVID-19 virus has plagued us for a year, and we have shuttered some of our ministries and have muted most of our experiences in the size of the crowd that we attract. But with the vaccine now being in mass distribution, and the promise of most Americans being able to receive a shot by this coming May, it means that life is getting ready to change again. And as we begin to restart and renew our ministries, what does God have in mind for us in our education ministry, our Common Ground, over at Maple, all the different ministries? Do we just crank up what we've been doing before COVID? Or is God calling us to something different? Whatever it is that we do, praying first and praying now is wise. We still have some time before the restrictions are lifted. Now is the time to be attuned to God's will and avail ourselves to His grace and His power. So, for the next several weeks, until Mother's Day on May 8th, I challenge all of our commissions, our groups, and our ministries to be in prayer. I challenge each and every member to be in prayer, and to be in prayer in a very specific way. Something like this: Lord, how can we glorify You? How can Your kingdom come and Your will be done? Yes, I know that this is not an original prayer. It's how the Lord's Prayer begins. Hallowing or making God's name great, asking that His kingdom come and that His will be done, is the needed prayer and the direction from God at this time of transition that we need. So in each commission, each group, board of directors, each ministry, and for our congregation as a whole, let us pray for God's direction for our ministry. If you're willing to join in this important work, please register your intentions with the link down below. And on each Friday, I will be highlighting an area of our ministry and the people involved for your special attention in prayer. Will you join me in this special time of praying? Blessings on your worship this weekend, and remember that we have online Bible studies and in-person classes available each week.